Hello and welcome back to another episode of Internal Rambles. This is your girl Rachelle. If you are new, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you for tuning back in. Internal Rambles is a very eclectic podcast. I talk about everything from my life, career, trending entertainment topics, music, etc. My normal episodes releases every Thursdays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My bonus content, which could be my reality show recaps. I'm currently recapping Married at First Sight Nashville and Ready to Love Miami. Also, I have an unconventional book club. We are reading the memoir of Fat Joe. I also have a segment that I do with my close friend Gio. That's the male perspective with Gio. A lot of eclectic stuff that happens over here at the Internal Rambles podcast. You can reach me pretty much everywhere that you get your podcast content. Please subscribe to me so that you get my episodes immediately. I also release my audio over on YouTube. If you listen to me over on YouTube, please subscribe to me, like and comment over there. I really would appreciate it. If you listen to me at Apple Podcasts, leave me a review. It really helps me out. Today, I'm going to start off the way that I start off every Thursday's episode, which is either with Rachelle's raves, something that I'm feeling positive about, something that has happened to me that I'm really excited about, or something that I'm looking forward to, or with Rachelle's rants, something that has upset me, something that I'm frustrated about, something negative that has happened. And today I have a rave, so I'm going to go into Rachelle's rave. Okay, so if you have been listening to me, I have been mentioning that I have some things upcoming that I really need to prepare, plan, research, etc., schedule, book. This is a milestone birthday for me, birthday year for me, and I have identified the location, but I hadn't booked any hotels and just had some personal business stuff, etc., that I needed to look into and research and plan, etc. But that procrastination spirit was really running rampant in your girl's life. And last week, I really just kind of had to sit myself down and say, girl, Rachelle, snap out of it. You've got to get stuff done. And I've been having a really productive week. I booked the hotel for my birthday, and I have a trip that's upcoming early summer. The flight was booked, but I needed to book the hotel. I booked that. I had some, just kind of some personal business stuff that I was able to get done, and just some stuff that I've been wanting to do that I've been putting off. So what I'm hoping is that procrastination spirit stays away. I mean, I think we all kind of procrastinate with things, especially if we know we have a little bit of time before we really have to start getting things done. But I've really been able to knock off or check off some things off of my to-do list. And that has just been, immediately my stress level and anxiety level has been decreasing. And so that's what, and that weight off of my shoulder, because I want, for my birthday, I kind of had the goal of, okay, by this date or around this time, around a certain date, I wanted to start at least sending out the invite, like, hey, this is where I'm going to be at. This is the time frame, get your coins together. This is what I'm doing at least for my birthday. I know I want to do for the celebration. I either want to do a birthday dinner or a birthday brunch. I would prefer a birthday dinner, but I'm not mad at a birthday brunch. So right now, I just need to plan out where I'm doing that. Just plan out my goal is just to plan out 2 major events, and everybody else can do whatever they want the other time or however long they are in the location. But I at least want to do a celebration kind of meal, and then maybe another event that we all can do together. But the most important thing is either the birthday dinner and or the birthday brunch. So I'm just looking into kind of locations and attractions, for lack of a better way to put it. But nonetheless, the point of the matter is that I've had a really productive week, and I'm really kind of proud of myself. Because I'm really tired. I just like work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep. And I've been having like appointments and stuff. And I've been doing other stuff here and there with like family, but like just some stuff that I needed to do for myself and get done has just kind of fallen by the wayside. It's like, no, you got to get this stuff done. And the more I put it off, the harder it's going to be for me. So just kudos and rave for productivity. And I'm just hoping that I can just kind of stay on this path of just getting stuff done, please, and a thank you. So that is my rave for today. Just trying to stay motivated and productive. That is the rave for this episode today. So I just want to do some really quick podcast programming announcements and then get into this episode, okay? Okay, so bear with me. So like I mentioned earlier in the episode, I have an unconventional book club read with Rachelle. We are finishing up and discussing our book, The Memoir of Fat Joe, the Book of Jose. We will be discussing that next week, March 16th. I haven't decided how I'm going to do that. And what I mean by that is... Sorry, I'm just trying to look at my calendar. If I'm going to... Previous book, I made that a standalone episode, and it makes sense to do that. I don't know if I'm going to make that a standalone episode or if I'm going to just combine that with my normal podcast episode next week. So nonetheless, we will be discussing the book next week. I just don't know if it's going to be a standalone episode or it makes sense to do that, but we shall see. And then I don't know, I don't have a date for this, but be on the lookout for the next installment of The Male Perspective with Gio, which is a segment I do with my close friend Gio. And we just talk about various topics. Please check out our previous episodes. I think we have 4 by now. And it's just nice to have another voice on here other than my own, just talking about different topics. But I'm gearing, or I'm hoping to get that episode out sometime by the end of March. And then I also am hoping to do another one of my top 5 for my favorite artists, which is like my top 5 albums for my favorite artists. I would like to do that this month. If not, that'll be in April. Speaking of April, every 6 months so this is season 2 of Internal Rambles, if you didn't know. And if you pay attention, it's my normal episodes. It's season 2 episode blah blah blah. So season 2 of Internal Rambles will be wrapping up in April, and what I usually do is at the end of the season I re-release the most popular episode of Internal Rambles, not the bonus episodes, but I believe not the bonus ones, but most popular episode, I re-release it, and then we start off the next season. So let me get a date for when that should happen. So if I stick to kind of the way that I've been doing things, April 13th would kind of be a finale of the season. April 20th would be the re-release of the most popular episode, and then April 27th would be the start of season 3. So these are tentative dates. I have to kind of work this out in my brain, but nonetheless, season 2 of Internal Rambles will be ending, and then we'll get into season 3. So just kind of some tentative programming, upcoming programming announcements. I will definitively give more conclusive dates towards the end of March. Okay. That was a little long-winded because I'm working that out a bit in my head in real time. Hello to Internal Rambles. But just a bit of heads up about that. So let's get into this episode. I really don't have much planned. This is going to be truly internal rambles, which is what this is really should be. This podcast, when I initially thought it up, was really supposed to be pretty organic. I've toyed around with that a bit, and it's been planned and then organic. And today is going to really be, because I'm doing this at the 11th hour, this is going to be very organic. So I have like one topic, loosely another maybe, but this is going to be very, very random and organic for the most part. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is this whole Chris Rock comedy special. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch it, so there's that. But just kind of my thoughts about people's complaining, and then just this whole thing. So just, it's gonna make sense once I get into it. So let's get into this whole thing. Okay, so over the weekend, March 4th, Chris Rock had a comedy special on Netflix called Selective Outrage, where he finally publicly addresses the last year's Oscar show where Will Smith slaps him. Okay. And a lot of people were upset because he still was, some people was like, okay, it was a year ago, why are we still talking about it? I guess he still made like some according to, I did not watch it, some offensive remarks about some famous people, etc. People said that some people found it funny, some people didn't find it funny, etc. Okay, here's the thing. I didn't watch it. Chris Rock is one of my favorites. I mean, my favorite comedians. Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Martin Lawrence, to name a few, Eddie Murphy. So, one of the things that people were like, why is he still talking about it? Here's the thing. He can talk about it when he wants to talk about it. He can talk about it in 2020. He had never publicly addressed it. Like, he's talked about it, but not where we all could see it. He's done comedy shows. I'm sure he talks about it, but not publicly addressed it for the world to see. Will has made statements. He's had interviews. He's addressed it a few times. Chris has never publicly addressed it, and it happened to him. He can talk about it in 2023, 2030. You know what I'm saying? People are saying that it wasn't funny. I think that obviously it's a comedy special. It was meant to be funny. But I think that also it was meant to be a statement. This was his way of making a public statement. I think that there was times, especially I did see a snippet of the end where he was literally making a statement. This was his way of finally making a statement. And Chris Rock, I will say, like, I am a huge fan. I used to be an administrative assistant, and when I was doing my clerical work, I used to have his Bigger and Blacker and his other comedy specials playing in the background, listening to them, laughing like I had never seen them before. You know, I definitely think that Chris Rock is funny, but he was definitely funnier back in the day. But I still find him funny. He's still one of my favorite comedians. But I think that, and he said that, you know, it still hurts. And then he made a joke about it. But he's a grown man that got pimp slapped in front of the world. Like, I don't know. Like, there was a level of seriousness, I think, in that comedy special, in the clips that I saw. But not every comedian is for everyone. I mean, there's some people that really do not find Kevin Hart funny at all. Kevin Hart, I would not pay. If someone want to pay my way to go see Kevin Hart, I would see him. I personally probably would not go pay to see Kevin Hart. I think Kevin Hart is funny, like in interviews and in conversations, but would I go to see him. No, I do think he is funny, but he's not my kind of funny, if that makes any sense. I think he was funnier when he first came out. And then, but not everyone is for, like, there's some people that don't, they do not like Dave Chappelle, and Dave Chappelle is a goat. I don't care what you say. And so Chris Rock's still going to sell out, like, meaning like venues. So yeah, I don't know. Chris Rock is not for everybody. But he did what he wanted to do in the way that he wanted to do it in the time that he wanted. Because there was a lot of people who was like, why isn't he saying anything? Why hasn't he made a statement? He ain't got to do nothing on nobody's time, especially when he literally was the one who got physically attacked, like, physically harmed or slapped or whatever. So, I don't know. Again, I did not see it. Even if no one laughs, he needs to do what he needed to do. Chris Rock's comedy has always been what it's always been, what it's always gonna be. It's not for everyone, and that's that. Comedy is comedy. It's not for everyone. I don't think that. I don't know. I think that there is a level of sensitivity that is unfortunate. When you have the people like, the comedians of the past, where you had the Bernie Macs and you had the Red Foxes, the Paul Moonies, and, I don't know. And I don't know. I have not watched it. I will watch it, but I'm just glad that he has finally made a statement in the way that he wanted to make a statement. And that's that. And Donnell Rawlins, I didn't listen to all of what he said, but he said, Will Smith has made multiple statements, and now Chris has made his statement. Now hopefully nothing else needs to be said about this, and hopefully Chris Rock can heal and people can move on, and that's that. And I agree. So R.I.P. to the two people that passed away at a concert recently, Glorilla and Finesse 2 times. There was like a stampede. What it sounds like is it was after the concert. People thought there was shooting. According to PD, there was no evidence of shooting, but people thought it was, and there was a stampede, and 2 people were like stomped, and they died from their injuries. And it's just kind of becoming like common, where obviously we had like the tragedies with like the Travis Scott concert, and like people just kind of like passing out at concerts, where now like the artists are. It's kind of becoming a common thing where artists are stopping their concerts and being like, hey, is this person okay? And obviously we know like the tragedy that happened at I see her for Ariana Grande, and just like all of these like unfortunate events and that are happening at concerts over the more recent years. And I was talking to a coworker today, and she's an older woman. I don't even know, like I would say she's probably in her 50s, and she's going to out of town to see an old school, I can't say old school, but I would just say like maybe like an older R&B artist. And she's like, I'm nervous about going to a concert. I never used to have concerns about going to a concert. And I was like, well, what kind of venue it is? And she's like, oh, it's at like a college. And I was like, well, colleges usually have like, good security. And I said, also, it's like an older artist. So, with the older crowd, usually it's usually a safer environment, because you're not going to have to worry about like the kids causing a ruckus, and just trying to be like encouraging to her. But it's like, so like because I like I mentioned, I love going to concerts, and I recently went to one last month. But it's just like, there is like the heightened, like you know, you try not to be fearful when you go places. But I know for me too, like there's certain places where that back in the day I used to be up in them certain venues, but there are certain venues that I won't go to anymore because I know they have had known problems of people, either like you know that there's going to be fights there, or there's been like shootings there, or just like crazy occurrences. Or like I know like the young kids, like yeah, I do like this artist, but most likely it's gonna be like the younger crowd. Like I ain't got time to be trying to, be watching, like, it's not fun to feel like you have to watch your back and be like, I'm trying to get my two-step on, but I'm also two-stepping and watching my back at the same time. Like that don't sound fun. So, but I just thought that was just like, so like such an interesting conversation I was having today. Because the artist that she's sing, like I would never think, oh yeah, but no, like just concerts in general, it's like you do have to feel like, oh, that heightened, like, you never know, like you really, in general, you never know, like people are getting, losing their lives just going to grocery stores, like it's such an unfortunate time that we're in, where she literally was like, man, I'm just, I'm concerned about this concert, this R&B concert. But I was just trying to tell her, like, it's at a college, and you should be fine, and I think she'll be okay. I mean, I pray she will, but it's just like she literally was like, I'm really concerned. I was like, oh, but man, it's just like you never really know anymore, and it's just like that heightened there's a term for it, but like you just have to feel like you do have to just be just mindful of everywhere you go all the time. It's like, how do you have fun? I mean, you should live your life, but you do just feel like you have to be mindful of everything that you do now. And do I really want to go to this event? Because you never know. So yeah, that's really super unfortunate, I think. So just to follow up on the roller coaster ride of a story that I was telling y'all last week about the famous person and how like the girlfriend, I'm still not telling y'all who it is, but had announced that they had broke up. Now the famous guy, the girl's not famous, but if you know him, you know her, okay? He's announced so that they broke up. They've been broken up for a couple months, but just no one knew, okay, whatever. So, and I was like, if they probably gonna be like, oh, we just grew apart, and that's that's the storyline, and okay, but we're still friends, and maybe that's true, okay. There was no cheating, and I'm like, okay. And people do grow apart. I do say, okay. And I knew, I said, watch them say. But again, I'm going to come back here and say, this is probably why I'm probably going to be like single forever with like my 3 cats. And I may even get a dog. Because if I get a man, because I don't do relationships. If I finally be like, you know what, you the one for me, we gonna have to be in it. Me and you will never part. Because I just can't do, like, if I finally be like, you know what, I'm gonna get some act right about myself, and I'm gonna be in this relationship, and I'm gonna do better, and I'm not gonna break up with you after 6 weeks, aka 6 days, and I'm really gonna put in effort, and I'm gonna, be in your life, and you're gonna be in mine, and we're gonna, we gonna have to be in these trenches. We're gonna live this life and figure it out. Because I can't do no breakup. After 6 years or whatever, I can't do it. I know people go through it, but see, I'm not people. My name is Rachelle. And after all these years, at this big old age that I am, and I'm breakups are whatever for me, but not at this age. not after all this singledom. We gonna have to be together forever. And not like I'm gonna be on some I'm just saying, like, if I finally be like, we're together, we together. Like, I just, because if I break up with someone, that's it. That I'm really just gonna have to get me some cats. Maybe a dog. I don't even like dogs. And just be like, you know what? I'm just gonna be single forever. Like, just, I'm gonna have to put acceptance on it. And I saw this crazy thing, and I don't even know how people have an energy. I don't have an energy, for this. This girl was like, if I'm dating a guy, I check everything. I check his phone. I check his Instagram. I check his followers. If he go up a follower, I check to see who that is and where she work. And I'm like, girl, how you have time for that? Like, do you sleep? That energy is just... I remember I had a boyfriend. He was I think I talked about this. He was such a homebody. I used to be like, so, you gonna hang with your friends today? You should go to the club. You know that club opened up on such and such street. I hear it's popping. You going out to the club? I used to be trying to make him go to the club. We had met in the club. He's like, that was a rare time I don't go to the club. I know I met you in the club. I don't be in the club. I'm like, you gonna go do something? Cause me and my friends, we going out tonight. Nah, I'm just gonna be at home. I'm gonna play some video games. Like, bruh, go do something with yourself. I used to be so happy when he'd be like, well, I'm gonna go over my boy house and play video. I was like, at least something, child. Do something with yourself. And I know I'm a homebody, but back in the day, that was that was my younger years where I wasn't that much of a homebody. So, but I just, anyways, whatever, a guy gonna do whatever he gonna do regardless. So it's just, a guy could cheat with someone that he met at the gas station. So whether he go to the club or not is irrelevant. Like, so anyways, let me not go in my little relationship rant. I just like, watch them say they grew apart. That's what they said. So that's that. I should re-release my whole pandemic dating thing, because nothing has improved. I still don't know where anyone meets men at, and no. And I will say this, I don't know anyone that has gotten into any new relationships lately. So I feel like we all in my circle are in similar boats. So there's that. Anybody knows, let your girl know. All right. Did I mention this is going to be all over the place? I don't have it. This is going to be literally internal rambles. So this weekend we spring ahead. So I thought maybe I would talk about what I'm looking forward to in the spring. I realize I've gotten away. This is not going to be it, but maybe upcoming. I have not done like my check-in episodes in a really long time, and so usually with the check-in has been like a life update. I kind of did that, sort of, kind of, but I like to do kind of like a self-care portion to that. So maybe I can do that upcoming. But what I'm looking forward to in the spring, I have some time off. The first time off, I'm not doing anything particular, but then I am traveling, and I'm really excited, nervous, because it's a place that I've always wanted to go to, and I don't know why. I think I've just heard really like positive things about it, and it's like a really quick weekend trip. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's really the main thing I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to like better weather. I just, honestly, we really haven't had a bad winter, but the cold is just seemed too much for me. If I I don't know if I will ever relocate, but if I ever relocate, it's got to be somewhere that just really doesn't have. I'm not trying to go to California or nothing, but just really super mild winters. Because me and the cold just don't work with each other. And something I'm looking forward to, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. So yeah, if it happens, I'll let you know. That's super vague. And then, oh God, I'm looking forward to something that I've been trying to do for this podcast and I haven't done it. But if it happens, it'd be really super great. But yeah, that's what I'm really looking forward to. I really hope I can keep on with this like productive vibe because I have some stuff. I mean, this is like I'm still really hopeful for this year. I got some stuff that I would like to do, and it could truly happen if I just stay on the course, stay motivated. Yes, stay on the course. Oh yeah. Yeah, I actually do have some stuff coming up. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. I be planning stuff and then yeah, I think that's it. I think like if I could just for me it's just like working and sleeping is not, when I plan stuff and I can look forward to it, that is like helps keep my spirits lifted. So yeah, I have something coming up in April, like just like a little cute little event that I'm looking forward to. I think that's what it is. I think that that's what it is. I have hibernated so much with the pandemic, and then I'm getting out. I still be in the house. Let's not get anything twisted. But I'm just slowly but surely, peeking out a little bit, and then I get out. That has been really helpful, I think, and just stuff to look forward to. So yeah, that is exciting. No more concerts. I don't have any concerts planned, which we'll see what happens. The year is still young. Usually something happens. I usually when pre-pandemic 2 to 3 concerts per year. So I've already got one in. Usually this summer something pops up. So we will see what that brings. And I think, you know what, I'm doing better. This may be a check-in. I am so all over the place because I don't have anything planned, and this is truly internal rambles. I hold grudges, and I know that I do that. That is not a great attribute. But I've gotten better with forgiveness. Now, I may forgive you and still not deal with you. But I think even that aspect, now there's some people I will, let me tell you, I will never deal with ever again in life. And rightfully so. But there's some people that, listen, I don't really care either way. But I understand that power of, I can be nice, like killing them with kindness. It really do be killing them. And I'm not trying to kill them. But it's just like, I don't have a problem. You have the problem with me. I don't have the problem with you. So I think it you is more energy to not talk to you intentionally than to just be like, hi and bye. But I think forgiveness is a very powerful, what's the term? That's it. Forgiveness is very powerful. Forgiveness and just moving on, But then also I think just being mindful of who I keep in my space. Because I'm telling you, I say that, I haven't said it in a while, but protecting your peace. You do not, having you in my space is not, it doesn't cause me peace. It causes stress, strife, anxiety, irritation, frustration. I could keep going. but not having you in my space is peaceful. And for whatever reason, like that is. And I'm okay today with who I have in my life, who I don't have in my life. My privacy is very important. So yeah, I think it's just navigating those relationships. And I wasn't even going to bring this up, but here we are. I was just seeing this post, because I mentioned this podcast before, Relationship Restored, and I was just talking about the different, and of course I can't find my phone. Oh, here we go. The different types of relationships, and this is not like earth shattering. This is totally common sense, but the different types of relationships that we have, the different types of relationships that we have in our lives. Let me just pull that up. So 6 types of relationships and their effect on your life. And of course the post doesn't want to open because why would it want to act right? Okay. So it says relationships typically fall into one of several different categories, and they can sometimes overlap. Family relationships, friendships, acquaintances, romantic, sexual, work, situational relationships, sometimes called situationships. Child, I had a couple of situations. Okay, anyways. These different forms of relationships can vary greatly in terms of closeness, and there are also different subtypes of relationships. I want to go to this article if it will let me. So it goes through the different types of relationships and just how they affect you and what a toxic relationship is. But I want to just, according to this very well-mined relationship article, I want to talk about what it says about how to keep your relationship healthy. So it says, regardless of how you define your relationship, there are important steps you can take to ensure that your connection is healthy. These strategies can include showing appreciation and gratitude, communicating openly and honestly, being affectionate, showing that you care, mutual respect, active listening, showing interest, being supportive, empathy, spending time together, having healthy boundaries, being trustworthy. Communication is often the single most important thing in a relationship. Good relationships are also marked by honesty, trust, and reciprocity. This doesn't mean that the relationship is purely transactional. It indicates that you naturally engage in a give and take that provides mutually beneficial support. Let me tell you. Let me read this one again. And this doesn't mean that the relationship is purely transactional. It indicates that you naturally engage in a give and take that provides mutually beneficial support. Yes, that means that you both are giving, taking, being supportive of one another, that there is not an imbalance in that, no matter if the relationship is a friendship, family, co-worker, even in situationships, child. Which I don't, situationships, they can be beneficial for what they are meant to be, at the time. But, I thought that was just something a little interesting really quickly. Because it kind of played into my little tangent that I had. Welcome to Internal Rambles. Okay, so that's the episode for today. This was really Internal Rambles. Okay, I haven't had one of these super random episodes in a while, but I like it. I'm with it. I do not have a show recommendation for today. Let me get a song recommendation. I almost forgot about that. I was about to just wrap this on up, but I can't leave you without some good music to listen to. Let me get you a song recommendation, okay? Okay, this influencer that I follow on Instagram, she had her followers send her some song recommendations, and then she created a playlist, and this song was on the playlist. I really like it. I'm pretty sure I've heard this song before, but it wasn't on any of my playlists or in my Apple Music. So the song is, I don't think I'd be saying her name right. I think is it Lettucey? I think it's Lettucey, and it's called Lose Control. Really like it. Really enjoy it. I'm not hip to Lettucey. I do believe she's a great talented singer, but I really don't I don't have any of her songs. I know there's another song of hers that I like, but I haven't gotten hip to her like I know I probably should be. But nonetheless, song of the podcast is Lettucey, Lose Control. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. Speaking of music, leave me a comment. G.O. says I need an intro song to my podcast. I really don't feel I need one. I'm not opposed to it, but that's what he say, you know? I don't even know where I would even get a podcast song from. If anyone wants to do one for free for your girl, you can email me at internalrambles@yahoo.com and we can have a conversation or two, okay? Okay. Listen, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, subscribe to me wherever you get your podcast content. You can also reach me over at YouTube, Internal Rambles, all one word, no space. Search for me and I will pop up. Comment and subscribe if you ever want to contact me for anything, or if you want me to answer some relationship questions, any type of questions, as long as you ain't getting all up in my Kool-Aid. Internalrambles@yahoo.com. Please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you. Thank you for tuning in, and as I always say, take care of yourselves, and if you are able to, take care of each other. And until next episode, this is your girl Rachelle.